Here you have Austin by the pole. This person is already engaged. You can see the arch here, right? Now watch. Austin comes over. Is he trying to break him up? Is this more of a breakup? Like you're trying to separate two people? That's what it looked like to me. Look at how it looks like he's grabbing the boy's shoulder. Look at Austin. Looks like he's grabbing one boy's shoulder right here. Look, pushing him off, right? Look. And then he got stabbed. Look at this. You see that? We don't know, but this is the reason why I said this may not have been a jump. This may have been. That's why I never really latched on to this jumping business, because I felt like maybe the guy who lost his life was trying to break up the other two. I mean, keep it in mind. Look, there's the heart. You see the heart between the two of them? That's some weirdness, right? Look at that right there. So you could just see the heart formation. It looks like Austin is breaking up these two. I don't know. I guess we won't know without a shadow of a doubt until we have the clearer video. That's all I'm going to tell you. But anyway, so you see, and I'm going to move on, I promise, guys, but I'm so intrigued by this, right? This is why I go to court, right? Had I not gone to court, I would be like these other fools out here saying, oh, this was Eddie over here, and this is his grandmother sitting there with the yellow. This is ridiculous what these people do just to get clicks, So anyway, look, there's Austin. Looks like he's breaking. It could be a put. I can't really speak on it, but what we do know is that this other person is already appears to be leaning into Karmelo already. Look at this, and I'm going to show you that again too. So Austin goes over, whether he's breaking him up or jumping in too. He gets stabbed, and you can see his arms right there. He goes into an arch. I've been punched in the stomach before, boxing, and you tend to want to reverse from the pressure. Okay, but I don't think that was meant for Austin. Look at this. Look at his arm right here. Now, look, you see that? He has his arm as though look at his arm. It's almost like his arm is on one boy's shoulder, and he's moving maybe he's moving that boy out the way, and he pushes the other boy's head. That's what it looks like. Look, watch this. So you could tell his arm is like this on the one boy, right? The boy that does the swing. Now you're going to see what look, it's hard to say. I don't want to get too deeply into it. All I want to show you guys is this right here. There's more activity here than what was revealed. Okay? You can't close out a case and give a guy life, 35 years or whatever, without putting all the facts on the table. Okay? So you see that? Let this frame right here be in your mind. For those of you who have a hard time, I know you're going to cry tonight because it's not what they told you on the big screen. But you know what? I'm going to send you some paper towels and a baba. And you can have at it tonight. It's not my problem. I'm here to just show you. Look at that. That's the perfect hit. See that? Perfect form. And Karmelo's looking back, running away. Okay? Now, this doesn't take away from how I feel about having a knife in the environment. All this other stuff had nothing to do with that. But I just wanted to show you guys that. So let's get back to business. I'm sorry, guys. I got caught up in the hype because when you guys tell me I can't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong. And I said I was going to show this on Sunday, but I said let me get them tonight. It might be their birthday. Oh, Henny, you in the building? I'm sorry. I've been up here rapping away. Sorry.
No, Mel. I've been enjoying you were cooking.
Listen, I'm sorry, Henny. You got to throw a rock at me sometime. You know what I mean? You got to get
No,
me.
you're good because they need to see this.
I was in my zone.
Yes, you were.
They was
Yes,
trying to
you
tell
were.
me. They was trying to tell me, "Oh, you can't prove nothing." Oh, that's what these guys do. They'll make this stuff.
Well, you know what?
Oh,
Since you're sending paper towels and babas, I'm gonna send the binkies and the blankies.
okay. Yeah, they need
Yeah.
it all tonight. Tonight's not going to be a great night for them.
No, it's not because they really if they can't understand what you just showed them, then they just don't have basic comprehension skills. Because while it is still blurry because it is zoomed in for people to be able to see, it's not hard to tell what was going on in that video.
Right, right, right. And
So
I think we made some good points. I made a good point, and this is not about like gotcha moment or anything like that. My only concern here is that a man was sentenced, and clearly there's more than meets the eye. And they did not in court even bother to highlight, like even what I did at the level of what I did as a non professional. Imagine if they, even the defense, why? Well, we know now why they weren't allowed to,
right, right.
do a lot of things. But you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah. Listen, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Okay, all right. I'll let you talk for a minute. I just need a
Well,
second.
the thing is, I'm glad that you are doing this because everyone has been trying to break down this video and make sense of it. And some people um, have been out here giving misinformation. Some people have been out here giving twisted information. I know I myself thought I saw one thing, but it turns out that it was something else. And but it was still something. It just wasn't what I thought it was. And this right here is the most accurate depiction of what we're going to get out of this video. You were in court, so you can place where Hunter was according to what they told you in court. You can place where Austin was according to what they told you in court. So therefore, you're not guessing. You heard this firsthand. You had the expert say, this is Austin, this is Hunter. So with you knowing the placement exactly of where they were, you can trace them and follow them. And there's no way that you can debate or try to debunk those swings, especially that second one. That second one is clear as day. There's no way that you could say that he was not turned around on his knees on those bleachers because of the way that he's getting up. As you pointed out, he's not turning around to stand up and run. He's swinging his legs to step up so that he could step up.
From his knees, not his
From
feet.
his knees. So it makes me wonder because it is there is a blob there. If he was hitting him prior to that first hit that you do see, how many hits did he hit him? And now that explains Karmelo's mark under his eye in the original and the true mugshot that was put out before it was cleaned up. And it does make you, if you've listened to the motion for new trial or the motion to recuse, then you understand what's been going on behind the scenes and you understand how things were getting suppressed. But it still makes the mind wonder, how could they do this and get away with it? But like I was saying to you earlier, it explains why they didn't highlight under the tent. Because I remember you saying that the expert was asked that in court. Well, why didn't you highlight what was going on under the tent? And he said, because I wasn't asked to. Now that statement makes sense when you put all of it together.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to actually go through the motions?
Yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty versed on it.
So do you want to talk about that or do you want to?
I was going to breeze through the video just to highlight a few more things.
Okay, go ahead. This is your show. I'm a guest.
No, it's
Your
okay.
dojo.
But we could get to that. I just want to lay out, because some people may not understand who's sitting where.
Okay.
So now I just want to show that, and then we can move on to whatever you like. Okay. So
Well, let's do it.
all right. So let me breeze through this here, and we're gonna remove this. We're gonna So, guys, now you see who's walking into the arena first, okay? So, the first person walking in has on the gray New Balances. That's Austin, okay? Austin walks in. He has on black shorts and a black top, okay? And he has on gray New Balances. When you look at the exhibits, he left one behind, okay? Now you see the next one coming in was
Hunter.
Hunter, and Hunter had on white. He had on white sneakers. You see the white
Uh-huh.
sneakers?
Uh-huh.
That's key to know as we get into this whole thing. All right. So now I'm going to take you to another video, and I just want to show you guys this here. Let's see. I want to show you the placement of how, because actually Hunter walks into the tent first. I want to show you how that happened. So if you look around the perimeter of the track, you see two sets of boys walking, three in front of three. Okay. Um, if you guys have the capacity to zoom in, I didn't zoom this part in, but I zoomed in a lot for you guys. So we're going to get to that. So you see three boys walking in the front. You see some walking. You're going to see Hunter. Remember, Hunter came in second.
Uh-huh.
He starts running right now. He's gonna tap his brother on the shoulder. Then he's gonna run past him. Boom! He taps his brother. He runs right past him. So that's how he became number one, even though he walked into the arena second. Now he's number one. Okay. The boy that's wearing the blue, you could actually see him walk up on the bleacher. When they walked in, there was a boy that had on like a blue hoodie.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You can see him right there.
Yeah, he walks into the bleacher. He belongs to another team. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right,
And
guys.
that's him left behind on the bleacher, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So now you're gonna see that there's a gap in the tent. See, a lot of people, what they do is on TikTok, they put out a 1 minute video, and let's see. You know what? I should have opened this so I could put my cursor on it. In the middle of the tent, you see a blob, right?
Yeah.
Some people are saying that that's Karmelo. That's not Karmelo. Okay. And because they show a 1 minute video, when these guys walk into the tent, you kind of think that they are surrounding Karmelo or something. Carmelo's not even in the tent at this point. Okay, I'm going to show you that.
Well, if they know where the placement is of Karmelo, they would see that that spot is empty.
It's empty. Correct. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, so now you see three boys walking into the walking toward the tent. Two of them are going to walk right on past the tent, and you're going to see Hunter go and sit in this gap. Okay, you know what? You know what I need to do.
Put it in the other thing so you could use your pointer.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second here, guys. I want everybody to be on one accord. So let's
You
do
guys
it.
be sure that you're hitting that like button as he's getting this situated because he's really giving it to you tonight.
Yes, indeed. So here we go. All right. So let's get to the point of okay, so right here. Let me pause it. Why is it? Okay, so you can see my cursor now?
Yep, we can see it clearly.
Okay, so this is a gap in the tent, okay? Hunter is going to go sit right here where I just showed you the guy who swings at Karmelo.
Uh-huh.
Carmelo's going to walk in 2 minutes later. He's going to actually sit behind Hunter. This blob right here, there's a few guys online that are saying, oh, that's Karmelo. That's not Karmelo, because according to what people are saying online, four guys walked up to Karmelo and then they started beating on him and all that. That's not Karmelo. I'm going to show you that. So anyway, let's
Well,
get
first of
going.
all, that person has on a dark hoodie. Karmelo had on a gray
Hoodie,
hoodie.
yeah. Oh, you know what? That's why you're so sharp. You know that. You're so
Pay
sharp.
attention to what's going on. And I mean, even if you watch the body cam footage, you can see it's a grayish white, a light gray hoodie he has on. So it's not him sitting in the tent yet.
Okay, so these two boys, they walk on by like the old song, walk on by, right? Hunter is gonna go sit right here, And then 2 minutes later, you're going to see Karmelo walk from this side of the tent, from the back. According to courtroom testimony, he's going to sit right behind. So this is all wide open. Okay,
Right.
so now we're going to watch all of it get filled in. So here we go. There you have Hunter with his white shoes on. He's bending over. He's sitting down. Then you see Austin. He goes toward the middle of the tent. You see his legs, and you see he has on the black short set. You see his legs right
Uh-huh.
there. So he's standing there. This is the same position that he's going to come from when he attacks Karmelo. Okay. So
Where
now
your
you see,
cursor is, there's still a gap right there too, and that's where Karmelo goes.
yeah. So the little head right here where the cursor is, that's Hunter.
Uh-huh.
So Hunter's sitting there, living his life, minding his business. Okay. Now let me show you. I did a little homework for you guys because I get people that always say, "Oh, da, da, da." So I want to show you a little bit better. I'm gonna show you two different ways. Okay, here we go. Is this showing? Yeah, here we go. So now I'm gonna show you the guys. These two guys right here, they're gonna walk right on by the tent. Here's Hunter. He has on white sneakers. He goes and sit. You see, he's leaning because he's tall.
Uh-huh.
Legs are kind of spread a little bit. Here goes Austin. You see his black shorts, black top.
Uh-huh.
You see Hunter. He put his head down. Then you're gonna see his head. There his head goes. See there?
Right.
Okay, but I'm being extra tonight, so let me zoom it in a little bit more. Let me show it again. This is for the people that have a hard time. So these two boys walk by. There's Hunter. See he sits down. He
You
has the
can see it.
white shoes on.
Uh-huh.
He sits in the gap. There's nobody behind him. Right? There's nobody behind. You see Austin go right here. You see his legs.
Right.
You can see he has on a black top, black bottom. Here's Hunter's head.
Uh-huh.
Okay. When Karmelo walks in and sit behind him, you will no longer be able to see Hunter because they become one blob. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go back to the video now. Watch this. We're gonna go back to the video.
Yeah, see you zooming in and making it blurry. I wear glasses too. So I had to
Yeah.
put my glasses on because that blurriness was affecting my natural blurriness.
Yeah. So okay. So now I've shown you guys the close up. Okay. I showed you the close up. Now here goes the time. We're focusing on the timeline. So Hunter sits down. Nobody's sitting behind him. 2 minutes later, you're gonna see Karmelo walk in. Carmelo's gonna walk in from the back of the tent here. You're gonna see his backpack, and he's gonna sit right behind Hunter. Okay, but we have to wait 2 minutes. Okay, so
Okay.
shout out to Empress. How are you? What's up, Tat's wife?
While we're waiting for Karmelo to enter the tent, you know what I didn't like and I found funny? Well, I didn't notice it. Let me say that. When they show the video, because they have this separate video of Karmelo entering into the stadium. I don't recall seeing a timestamp in the bottom corner. Do you?
No.
And that's what kind of bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a timestamp of when the Twins are walking in. And even this video here doesn't have a timestamp on it.
Right. And this is the full length video that they provided from the state. So, guys, where I have the cursor at, that's Hunter's head right there. So we're waiting for Karmelo to walk in and sit down behind him. All right. Good catch. Stella says good catch to you.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you,
Okay.
Tat's wife type.
Okay, so we're waiting for Karmelo to walk in and sit behind Hunter. All right, so we probably have another minute to go now, guys. So just sit tight, and I have blown that up for you too. I didn't have that before, but I'm gonna make it tonight. I'm making things. There you go. There goes Karmelo
There he
walking in.
goes.
He walks in. You see his backpack. He's sitting right behind Hunter. See?
Is
For
there a
every
way for you to rewind that so
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
you can make sure that they see that?
yeah. There we go. He walks in right here. And he sits behind Hunter. See that? That's Karmelo. You see that, guys?
Mhm.
Karmelo arrived after the Twins. That's him sitting down. Now, what I did for you guys, I've blown it up for you. So just bear with me. I want to make sure everybody gets this very clear today. Check this out. See there? There's Karmelo walking in. He's sitting behind Hunter that's here. You can see Hunter's legs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. There's Karmelo sitting down. It takes him a while to get situated. Look like he put his foot over the bleacher. See that? They're just nobody's standing up, nobody's fighting.
Nobody's
Uh
doing nothing. Yeah.
yeah, none of what these people have been telling you online, right? It's a shame, right? But I think I have another one for you guys. I'm going to show you this too. Give me 1 second. I want to show this to you.
And I saw where people
Evidence
were
that the
saying
jury
that the
saw
dialogue.
is
Oh,
now
I was just saying, I saw where people were saying that the dialogue that people were saying that happened in the court, that there was no time for that to happen because it happened so quickly. But in all actuality, there's time that lapsed where there was
Hmm.
plenty of time for conversation before the altercation happened. So just pay attention because Mel is really breaking this down.
Yeah, I think they. I'm with whoever said. Looks like LD, I believe. Wake Wankin. Look like they invited him. Okay, so for those of you, I'm going to show you from another source. She's going to explain it. That Carmelo came in after these guys.
I
Let's
can't
see.
stand Megan Kelly.
It's okay, just for this point.
I
well,
know.
we have the footage that was shown to the jury now. It's a little hard to make out, and we're going to show you a zoomed in version in just a moment, okay? But screen left, you see a yellow tent. There's a group of students sitting underneath it. Near the top, you see a brief altercation.
Hold on, I gotta go
Again,
further. Here we go. Sorry. This is it right here.
own damn eyes. We're about to show you 3 critical up close videos of what happened under the tent. These were enhanced by Robbie Harvey, a true crime social media journalist on X. In this close-up video at the top of the tent, you see Karmelo Anthony walk in and sit down under the tent where the murder occurred.
See him sitting
Karmelo
right
runs
behind?
for another team. Again, there was
So, there's another source that's showing you Carmelo walked in after the Twins and sat down behind Hunter. That's how he got into that position, okay? So I just want to make that very clear. So now we'll go back to the other video, and we have to do this one other thing. Well, I don't think we have to show. Yeah, I just wanted to show where Hunter was sitting and where Carmelo was sitting. Okay, so now that everybody has had a chance to see where they're sitting, we're going to do the fight video one more time, and then I'm going to have you break down the whatever you want to break down. Okay,
Oh, okay.
if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all.
I need a brief. The studio lights are like cooking me, so I just need a brief break. But
Okay.
anyway, um, let me do this. So, guys, put a 1 in the chat if you now see that the Twins came into the tent, and then 2 minutes later, Carmelo came in and sat right behind Hunter. Okay, Hunter sat in the gap. 2 minutes later, we showed you Carmelo came and sat behind him. Okay, Phil's in the building. Stella is with me. Amazing Stella, New Jersey, and my cousin. Ocean. Okay, so everybody kind of gets it. Okay, finally we get to this point. Okay, so now the reason why that's important, it helps to substantiate this new video. There is no lie with the ISD video. I don't think that there's a lie with that. Okay, Michael, that's your opinion, but Michael, you got to sit back and pay attention. You're not in the driver's seat tonight. I know you're used to being in the driver's seat, buddy, but not tonight. Tonight, you're the passenger, and I need you to sit there and be quiet. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right. I'm matching your energy. Okay, that's how I operate. You know. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna show you the fight again. Okay, this time with Henny, because she seems to be a little better at me at looking at, women always see the details. They they catch you on one real quick.
Well, I don't know.
So, yeah,
Maybe
they
I
are.
might,
Yeah, yeah. Guys are so doofy. We just live. So okay, so we're gonna get so now that everybody's on the same page, shout out to Phil, thank you for the super chats. So now that we're on the same page, that the twins came in, they sat down, then Carmelo, he was called to the tent. He came and sat down behind Hunter. Sounds like a setup to me, but I won't get into that. Eddie was sitting next to Carmelo on his right. I should have shown you guys that. But anyway, that's a whole different factor, okay? Let's go through the fight again, okay? All right, so here we have it. Right here is the pole.
Mm-hmm.
You have Austin right here. This is Austin's body. This is Carmelo's head, and below Carmelo, you have Hunter sitting here. When Carmelo gets up and run out of the back of the tent, now you're going to see Hunter by himself, okay? So this first time around, for those that are coming in late, okay, you see Austin go over and he attacks the head of Carmelo. You see this? Look.
Boom.
Now you see Carmelo head go down, but you also see a darker blob in front of Carmelo, okay?
Right.
Okay, so then you can already see Austin kind of wincing his body because he's been stabbed. You see the gap, and now you see him falling back. You see that? Okay, so now that we have Austin out the way, I want you to focus on Carmelo. Carmelo's wearing a gray hoodie, and we're going to start off with him being at the top of the tent. Now you see above the top of the tent, you see Carmelo?
Yep.
You see him, you can see he has the hoodie over his head. You guys see that?
Yeah, the hoodie is over his head and then it goes back.
Right.
Like it falls off.
Okay, but now that you see Carmelo above the yellow top of the tent, now you can see Hunter standing there where you had the blob of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so now right here you see Hunter, right? Now I'm going to show you guys the punch. We're going to start with the punch. You see that? You see that? I reversed it. Now here's the punch. You see that punch, guys?
Right there. Yep.
Right here, you'll see Hunter, or I don't want to say Hunter. I'll say the individual sitting in front of Carmelo, because we're going off a courtroom testimony that's Hunter. I mean, we basically saw him go sit there. But for the sake of being a good citizen, I'm going to say this individual. You see that hit?
But here's the thing. If they told you in court that that's who it was, then it's been established in a court of law. So you're not wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to be nice about it. But I get your point. So you see that, guys? As Carmelo is running away, you see that swing by Hunter or whoever that is right there? See right here, you can see the arm. When I reverse it, you see the arm come back.
Yep.
And now it's going to go forward. Look at this. You see that? It's like the perfect swing.
That missed.
Right? Okay. So you see that? Now, when I go forward, you're going to see that this person is on their knees on the bleachers. Right there. You can see his knees on the bleacher. You can see the back of both feet.
Yep.
Foot one, foot number two, you can see the person bend in the knee, and this is the bottom of his black shorts, right? Halfway of his leg. You can see his leg is bended back. Here's his 2 feet. Now you're going to watch him stand up and run behind Carmelo. Look, he puts 1 foot up, then he picks up the left one, and off he goes out of the back. See that? There, that's his butt right there. This is his leg. This is his butt area. And he's running out behind Carmelo. According to courtroom testimony, he heard his brother scream. He stopped running behind Carmelo to go attend to his brother. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the swing. Right here, you see this? So that's the swing. Now I'm going to reverse it. And now you're going to see, if you watch, you're going to see Austin moving in on Karmelo, but you can also see as I reverse it now, notice the body. Notice the body of this person that we think is Hunter.
Uh-huh.
He came from a down position on his knees on top of Karmelo. See that? See that?
Right there.
And then you see the punch. Then you see the punch right there. You see that? So I'm reversing it back, and you see he's coming from a down position.
Yep.
Now I'm going to move it forward. He has to come up on his knees to get that punch off. Look at this. See that? He had to pull back onto his knees to get the punch. When I reverse it back, look, he goes back down. See this? Okay,
Does everybody follow what he's put? Are you picking up what he's putting down?
Now we're going to go back to Austin. Now notice this person, what he's doing when Austin approaches, right? Notice now Austin is approaching. This person is already, right? You don't see a person get on their knees. So evidently, I'll let you see it for yourself. As Austin is approaching, this being is already there with Karmelo. Okay? Look, Austin is approaching. He's approaching. He pushes. He gets stabbed. This person pulls their body back up and swings. Look. See that swing? And that person's on their knees. So this person, you could argue, or you could ask, how long were they on their knees facing Karmelo?
Because from the way it looks, he was on top of him.
Look, now they're both are right on Karmelo. Look, both of those bodies. Look at that. See that?
Yep.
Now look at it. This is an arm. If you look at it, right, that's an arm that, watch what that arm does. Watch what that arm does. See that arm? Look at there. See that? Look, that's an arm. And you can see the head right here. See that? And then the person, whatever they're doing, when I back it up and move forward, you see they missed this hit here. See that?
Yeah.
So that's not one person lightly pushing Karmelo on the shoulder. See, we didn't get the hard facts in court.
But you know what else you see with that last swing before Karmelo escapes out the back of the tent? The whole body shifts with that last swing.
Yeah, that was a hell of a swing. See, look at this. Look at this swing. For those who just might have a hard time accepting this. Look at that swing. That's a mean swing right there. See that?
Yep.
But you don't hear anything about that on the big news. You don't hear about it in court. So that's why when people say, "Oh, nobody said," yeah,
but it's very clear, very obvious.
Look at
in
that.
this video. Yep.
Look at that. And then as I reverse it back, look to the previous move, that body was down.
Yeah.
On his knees.
Yeah.
So why would he be leaning so heavy on Karmelo on his knees?
But let me ask you something, because you remember Eddie said, or someone said, that he hit Karmelo with a lineman's drill.
Right.
But look at the force that was used to get Austin up, because Austin was down on Karmelo. That's why it looked like people keep saying push, 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 push. That's him getting his brother off.
Very likely. It could
allegedly.
It could be argued that Austin is trying to break up the other two instead of. It's hard to really pin it down, but we pinned down enough just for the argument that more than one person was hitting Karmelo.
Right.
And I know people don't want to hear it. They just want to move along and say, "Oh, we don't want to hear about that part." But this is a very important part. And you can see it right here. Look at this punch. See that? That's a powerful hit right there. That's not Austin. So for everybody, you know what? What happened to all these guys that's been telling me all day? I don't know what I'm talking about. I need a couple of you guys in the chat right now. I am here for it. I came all the way back from Egypt to confront you guys. Where you guys at? Nobody's showing up tonight. They told me all day, oh my God, there's no way. Nobody else hit Carmelo. Da, 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 da. And I can't even find one right now.
No, the only one that you have right now is someone who keeps bringing up the weapon. But other than that,
Yeah,
it's
we
pretty
know.
mild. It's pretty mild because you know what? It's right there. It's blatant in your face. But you know what happens? The goalpost must be moved. When there's something that gets proven now, the goalpost must be moved. But the
We got
goalpost.
Calvin. Calvin's
Hey,
in the building.
Calvin.
Hey, Calvin, check it out, Calvin. Check this out. Look at this. Look at your boy over here just throwing them bows. Look at there. Look at there. Calvin, this was not in court. We didn't hear anything about that. You see that? Look at that. Right here. Look at that punch. And then when I reverse it back, that person, you could see they were buried down. And you could see the person's on their knees. The person rises back up with a swing, but they're on their knees. Watch this. I'm going to show you again. This individual is on his knees. Look, he gets up off his knees. Look, he's facing the back. He didn't turn around. He wasn't sitting politely in his seat. Look at there. At what point did he turn around? You see what I'm saying? This is insanity, you know? Yeah, poor job by the defense. You let a guy on YouTube beat you at your own game. It's a shame.
Big time.
This is a shame, right?
Well, you know what?
It makes me wonder, though, how could his defense not take the time to do what I did?
I can answer that question.
They could have hired a professional and showed this in court. You know what I mean? Go ahead and preach about it, Henny. Tell them about it. I have to step away for a minute.
Well,
Brian said Mel extra. Yeah, real sad, Calvin. Real sad, you know?
So, Karmelo, there's a lot of questions that I see people still have. And, can you still hear me?
I'm trying to. Yeah, we can hear you. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get myself out of here. Thank you.
Well, hey guys. So a lot of you are still talking about Karmelo taking the stand with the defense and this and that. Well, I take it that a lot of y'all have not heard about the motion for a new trial or the motion for recusal that was put in by Karmelo Anthony's new legal team. So in the motion for a new trial, Mike Howard, who was the previous attorney on the case, who was there during the trial, explained in a sworn affidavit what happened and how they were not able to put on an effective defense due to a gentleman's deal that they entered into with the prosecution. Now, that gentleman's deal consisted of them not bringing up prior bad acts, character or behavioral, anything that would go into character or any of that. They weren't going to bring it up for Karmelo. They weren't going to bring it up for the Metcalf boys. It wasn't going to be talked about. And they could not discuss certain things. One of the things that they said, that Mike said in his affidavit, was they couldn't even put on an expert who was going to speak to epilepsy and what the fight or flight for him would be. They were not allowed to ask certain questions or cross-examine certain witnesses a certain way. They were not allowed to call certain witnesses in, like the witnesses who had testified to the Metcalf boys and their behavior. They were not to bring up anything or ask any questions that would bring up the Metcalf boys being violent, being bullies, being arrested for racist graffiti. And to be fair, they also were not going to bring up anything for their school records. They weren't going to bring up Karmelo's school records. They weren't going to bring up the contents of his cell phone. So they entered into this agreement. The agreement was made off the record in secrecy in chambers, in the judge's chambers. So they agreed to this in front of Judge Roach. And this is what Mike Howard's affidavit was about. Now, I did do a video on this. I don't want to plug unless Mel says it's okay, but all of this gets broken down. This is one of the reasons why they are asking for a new trial. Now, when it came down time for the prosecution to put on their case, the defense allowed them to put on their case the way they put on their case. This is why they were not objecting to people committing perjury on the stand. This is why they were not fighting back the way that a defense team should have been fighting back against the prosecution, because their hands were tied with this gentleman's deal. But here's where the screws came in, right? The screws to this came in when it was time for the defense to put on their case. When the defense went to go put on their case and it was time for Karmelo to take the stand, that is when the prosecution said to the defense, well, you already violated the agreement. You violated the agreement in your opening when you said that Karmelo was a part of the chess team, when in fact they said that Karmelo played chess. And the judge said they didn't violate the agreement, but the prosecution held on to that. So much so that if they would have put Karmelo on the stand, the prosecution was letting the defense know, we're going to open that door if you put him on the stand. But when they were making this agreement, the whole time they were making this agreement, the defense had the understanding that the prosecution knew that Karmelo was going to take the stand. But in the ninth hour, the prosecution says to them, oh, we didn't think you were going to put him on the stand. Now, how do you think that they're not going to put their client on the stand when this is a self-defense case? So remember when they took that long break and they came back from that lunch break on the day that the defense rested, and the family was in the courtroom for the Metcalfs and the Anthonys. Karmelo was in there. The judge was in there. The attorneys were in there, but the jury wasn't in there. The public wasn't in there. It was just them. And Karmelo's mom looked upset. That was because the defense only had 10 minutes to explain to Karmelo that he could not take the stand or what would happen. So this is what happened. According to the sworn affidavit of Mike Howard. Hey, Calvin, did I say something bad?
Oh no, you're hitting the nail on the head. I just I don't want to play armchair quarterback because I know a lot of the people that are involved, but I just wouldn't have agreed to. I'm sorry.
I'm not even an attorney, and I was sitting back like, why would you ever think that this was a good idea for your client?
On my end, no. No.
Can I ask you, have you ever heard of a gentleman's deal before like this?
I've seen people do that, but in this particular situation, I just wouldn't have done it. I'll say that I just would not be comfortable with doing it without trying to call the prosecutors out. There are certain relationships that you may have with prosecutors, right? And you may say, hey, with this guy, I can do this with that guy, I can't. Uh-huh. Or there are some certain prosecutors you'll go, if I did this with him, I don't know about that. Uh-huh. And one of those prosecutors, I'd be like, I don't know about that.
Right.
And the fact that I would go, I don't know about that would kill me making that particular deal. I just wouldn't have done it. And I wouldn't have done it anyway. But if I were going to do it, it wouldn't be with the set of people that were there. I wouldn't have done it.
I'm picking up what
Um,
you're putting down.
and it's unfortunate because it's putting you in a position where even though you're taking away some bad things, even though they're giving up some of their bullets, they're
Right.
taking some of your bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that. And then you get to the end, and then all of a sudden, just because I say this young man was on the chess team or chess club, oh, you violated the agreement. And now at the end, you're going to pop that on me. And now
Right.
I'm going to complain about it and say, wait a minute, we did what we were supposed to do. Y'all did what y'all supposed to do. And now you're going to tell me I violated the agreement, but I only violated the agreement when I want to put my client on the stand to make sure that
Exactly.
he doesn't get popped at the end. Nah, we wouldn't have done that. I just that wouldn't have worked for me. I don't think I would have trusted that.
Right. And see, the thing for me, when I read that, I said, wait a minute. If they violated the agreement in the beginning, in opening, why wasn't that mentioned during opening? Oh, that's right. Because they needed to put on their case without any type of rebuttal from the defense so they can get what they needed to get out there. But now that the defense, it's time to put the defense on up, put the brakes on it, you violated. And even with the judge saying they didn't violate, that lets the defense know you put him. That's like an unspoken word. And correct me if I'm wrong, where the prosecution's letting the defense know without saying it. If you put him on that stand, we're going to open that door.
And let's talk about lineage. All right. And this is stuff that you won't get from anywhere else. You'll get lineage from me. And I'm not talking shit about people. I'm just calling it what it is.
Right.
My friend Craig Watkins, who is one of my close friends, he wasn't just somebody who was the first African-American district attorney in Texas. That was like my brother. Craig Watkins was my brother. He ended up winning Dallas County district attorney for the race. Became the first African-American district attorney here in Dallas County. He beat he he beat I think at the time Toby Shook was running. Yeah, he beat Toby Shook. And Toby Shook had worked for Bill Hill, and Bill Hill had worked for Henry Wade. And so that y'all understand who Henry Wade is, and I'm not, I'm just going to give y'all a little bit of history. Texas has sent more people, especially of color, to death row than any state in the United States, right? Y'all know that, right? Henry Wade wrote the book on how to pick juries, on how to pick juries that will give people of color the death penalty. He knew how to do it the best way. He knew how to pick juries to eliminate people of color from the juries. He knew how to pick juries to get the best people that would probably give the death penalty to people of color and get the most guilty verdicts to the people of color. So when you talk about what you're dealing with, those particular DAs kind of come from Dallas. They end up in Collin County, but they come from the lineage of working under that lineage of DAs. So as an African-American attorney, I'm not in this type of situation with the stakes this high. There will be no gentleman's agreement. There just will not be. You can't do that. And the reason why I say that is because historically, when you look at the situation that you're in and you look at that lineage that comes from, there's no way that I'm going to, especially as an African-American attorney with all of the racial stuff going on around this case, then I am going to make a gentleman's agreement with you because I know a couple of things. Number one, you are doing what you need to do to be able to keep your job in your county. Let's take color out of it for a minute. No, let's put color in it for a minute. The people of Collin County are majority white and they have a high immigrant population and they're 11% black. So they are highly Republican in Collin County. They are very pro law enforcement, very pro district attorney office, very pro, hey, Republican, very pro, we want to make sure that we are tough on crime, right?
Right.
So Mr. Worski and those particular prosecutors and the judges elected up there are going to do what the people of Collin County have elected them to do, which is when a alleged crime is committed, is to be as hard and as tough on crime as possible. Now, we do have the Constitution, but let's be realistic. They are going to be tough and hard on crime as possible.
Right.
So in that situation, why would you make a gentleman's agreement?
Right.
There's no reason to make a gentleman's agreement with people in that particular situation. You might as well just let it play out. You just got to let it play out because you cannot make a gentleman's agreement because when it comes down to it, at any point that they think that you are going to get an advantage by that gentleman's agreement, they are going to blow that agreement up. Because the people have elected those particular individuals, the judge and the district attorney's office, to be tough on crime. And they're doing the job that the people of Collin County have elected them to do. So therefore, if I'm the defense attorney for Karmelo Anthony, I must protect his rights. So if I'm going to protect his rights, there's nothing in the Constitution that says I have to make a gentleman's agreement with anybody.
Right.
So why would I make a gentleman's agreement with anybody and play with his constitutional rights? I wouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. There's no way in hell I'd do that. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I don't want to make any gentleman agreement with them. I want to make sure that I get every objection. I want to make sure everything plays out. I want to make sure that every opportunity for them to make a mistake happens. So maybe I can get something on appeal so that maybe I can get to the Court of Appeals or maybe I can get to the Supreme Court if I have to, or maybe I can get another set of eyes on this just in case I lose.
Right.
Why would I do that in a county that is elected judges and prosecutors that are tough on crime? No, I shouldn't have done that. And this is not a swipe at Judge Roach or any of the prosecutors up there. This is just me advocating for my client. I'm not making any damn gentleman's agreements. That's just between me and you. I'm not doing that.
Right. So Calvin, let me ask you a question about this because it's something that was running through my mind as I'm reading this affidavit. I'm like, okay, so Shook was the lead attorney.
Mm-hmm. No.
Howard is. Howard.
No. Howard is.
Yeah.
Shook was just helping. No, Shook was just helping. Shook was brought on.
So
Howard
now
was lead.
That makes it even worse because I thought Toby Shook was over the case and Mike Howard was like second chair. No. So now Mike Howard blew this whole gentleman's agreement up that he himself entered into, even though the way it was reading in that affidavit was as if Toby Shook entered into the agreement.
Let me explain to you, and I always try to tell people this right now. This situation, you can't blame Toby Shook for it. Mike Howard was the lead attorney. And I see Mike all the time. I'm not ragging on him, but I just wouldn't have done it. I'm just telling it what it is. Because I know a lot of people. I just preface it by saying, I don't want to be an armchair quarterback, but there's just certain things that I wouldn't do. And I'm not doing a gentleman's agreement. But Mike Howard was in charge of the case. Toby was just helping out. He, at the end of the day, because Mike is the lead attorney, Mike gets to make the decisions. So Mike is the lead attorney. When you are set up like this and doing what you're doing, like right now, Russell Wilson is the lead attorney on the appeal. So everything's going to go through Russell.
Wow.
And so that's just what it is. Toby was just helping. He was just helping out because typically when you go up there in Collin County, you don't want to be one attorney and you got 2 or 3 attorneys on the other side and you're trying to pay attention to your client, pay attention to the jury, pay attention to questions, you at least want to have another attorney sitting there with you.
Right.
So it wasn't, Toby's number one priority to run that case. It's Mike's case to run. Because Toby was brought on the back end.
Right. Well, I mean, with the gentleman's agreement out, even with the recusal of Judge Roach, which I already knew he was going to refuse to step down.
Mhm.
And then you get to this video, and then we have these questions that if you read the gentleman's agreement, you understand what was going on in the case.
Mhm.
You still have the question, like, how? And I don't know if my how is because I'm just in disbelief, because I'm not ignorant. I'm very intelligent. But that how echoes so loud. Like, how can this happen?
It
I
could
guess
happen.
in 2026, how can this happen?
It could happen because you should never allow yourself to enter in a gentleman's agreement like that, because you didn't do it really on the record. So you can't go back and say anything. Now you have to do an affidavit. You even had to do an affidavit because you didn't do it on the record, right? So you even had to go back and do an affidavit after the fact.
Oh, but that's
So
the other thing. He said that they wrote something up on, like, and it's my word, on like a bogus motion sheet and hand delivered it. And I'm like, I'm reading this and I'm thinking to myself,
No.
like, wait, you're hand
We're not doing
delivering
that.
and passing stuff in front of the judge in the judge's
we're
chambers.
not doing that. I'm not going to
What?
do that. I'm not going to do that. And see, one of the things, prosecutors and defense attorneys can do that stuff if they want to. I wouldn't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to happen. Not up there, not in that situation. I'm not going to do it. And the reason
And
why you don't do it is because when something like this happens, what are you going to do?
now
And I
this looks
just,
bad.
no.
This looks
Yeah.
bad. And then the thing about how often, and I'm not if I don't, I'm not trying to get you into any trouble. I'm just asking a question, and it's no dig towards one particular person or anything. It's just a general question.
Yeah.
How often do you hear of situations where the court reporter's reports a month later, over a month later, have not been transcribed and are being held in chambers as paper records under oral seal? Is that common practice? I'm asking because I'm ignorant to it.
It's not. I don't think it is common practice. Usually those things are released. Or usually that's part of the record. Usually it's out there. Usually you're able to get it and you're able to go over it. I just do not understand how I wouldn't. I'm just, look, y'all. There would not have been any of these gentlemen's agreements. I just think you get yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have got myself in trouble, this kind of trouble. And this is the thing, and I always tell people, right? When you're in court, whether it be with prosecutors, whether it be with judges, you have to stand up for yourself. Listen, I've pissed judges off before. I've got nose and nose with one of the judges before in Dallas, but he was being disrespectful, and I wasn't going to be disrespected. I don't care. I'm willing. I had a bailiff say something to me in Tarrant County, and I was like, I bet you I don't. I bet you won't. And it's because you have to stand up for yourself.
Right.
And even when it comes to judges, when you're in trial, your job is to be respectful to the bench. However, that's not your number one priority. Your number one priority is protect the rights of your client. So whatever you need to do to protect the rights of your client, then that's what you do. And that's what you got to do. I want you to think about that for a minute. I mean, I remember when the Young Thug trial was going on, his lawyer was willing for contempt, really, to go to jail for the weekend.
Right.
That's what you got to be ready. Look, I'm ready to ride. I'll go.
Right.
Like, I'll go to jail. Like, I don't care. I'll go to jail if I have to. I mean, but you're going to give me my ruling. I'm not going to let you disrespect me in there because I'm going to be respectful to you.
Right.
And you're not going to violate the rights of my client. You're just not going to, it's not going to happen. And Your job sometimes lawyers, when you're in there, because the judge sometimes will have an aura. Sometimes there's too much respect going on when you look up to a judge, when you have a judge that's been sitting on the bench for a long time. Even with myself, like even if I was in there with Roach, I know Judge Roach, but when I'm representing Karmelo Anthony, if I have to piss him off, so be it. He's just getting fucking mad at me. I'm sorry. I don't
Right.
care. Get mad at me all you want. But I'm protecting this young blood right now. And that's my client. And I'm gonna protect my license. I'm gonna protect my client. And I don't care who likes it. I mean, I've had judges maybe not like me sometimes because I'm gonna be like, nah, you're not being fair. I had a couple of my sister judges won't talk to me right now because you used one standard for her, but you didn't treat him the same way. And I'm gonna tell you you didn't do that. And maybe you don't like it, but you didn't.
Right.
So it is what it is. But you have to advocate for your guy and you got to put it on the record, or you have to advocate for your girl and you got to put it on your record. You have to advocate for your client, and your job is not to get along with every damn body. And see, that's part of the problem too as well. Sometimes when you're trying to get people to do stuff for you, you're trying to, like this gentleman's agreement stuff and all that. Now look, I'm not doing a damn thing for you. If you're not going to give me a plea deal that was going to be commensurate of what everybody else was getting that poked somebody, then no. Like, and because I've even heard that there was a potential for a plea deal that was going to be lower than, definitely a lot lower than what he got.
Right.
And I'm thinking probably 20 or less or 15 or less, something like that, what the other people would get in these kind of situations. If we're not in that situation, then what can you can't do anything for me. I'm just going to let it ride at that point. Like, and I have a situation right now. I always tell people I got a situation right now where they're offering a young lady who's never been in trouble before, had one bad night, got to drink and did something really stupid. They're offering her 15 years. She's never had a felony before. And I'm like, what? We'll just fight it. Because I'll either beat it or I'll lose and I'll get probation, or I'll lose and I'll get less than 15. But
Right.
let's just go. I had somebody, and I even tell you recently, and this is the crazy part. I literally had somebody recently shot somebody on the job. They got probation.
Wow.
And you're going to be like, what? It's because you handled the case right.
Yeah.
You handled the case right from the beginning. We had the video. It was good video. I did not have a press conference. The other person was the aggressor. It was clear that the other person ran up on my client. It was clear that the other person ran up on my client, breast bumped her, cornered her, and started windmill punching her. I had my client mentally evaluated, and I had her pull her medical records. She suffers from claustrophobia, PTSD, and a bipolar. And she takes medication. And so when she gets in those situations, she gets fight or flight, right?
Right.
And in addition to that, once again, the girl that was attacking her was 5'10", 5'11", 260. My client was 5'6", 110. There was a size disadvantage.
Right.
I showed that. I prepped my client. I had my client testify. I explained why my client brought a gun to work. My client brought a gun to work. The only reason why she had the gun at work is because she drives a Kia. And people are like, what do you mean she drives a Kia? Well, in Dallas, the Kia boys were stealing all these cars. And she lived in this apartment complex, high crime area, apartment complex. Hell, every morning she would try going out their car. She was hoping her car would be there because they had busted the window before and they couldn't crack her steering column because they would try to steal her car.
Right.
So she was scared that she was going to get in the car one morning and somebody's going to pop out the back seat.
Right.
But we explained why she had the gun. We explained why she responded like she responded.
Right.
Not only that, she was extremely remorseful. My client was remorseful. not just remorseful at the time of the incident, she was remorseful in court. She showed reflection. When I say show reflection, if she said, I couldn't believe it was happening, everything was happening so fast. And my client was crying. She said, we were Black women. We should have solved it. We were supposed to talk that out. We were not supposed to let this escalate like it escalated. We were supposed to both have cooler heads. We were supposed to talk this out like grown women. You're in your high 30s. I'm in my high 30s. We were supposed to sit down and talk this out. You have children. I have children. This should have not escalated to this point. And if I had to do this all over again, there's no way in the world we should have let this escalate to this point. This was foolish on my part. I should have never let it happen. And you should have never threw your purse down and attacked me. And I should have never reacted in the way that I reacted. She showed reflection and she said, I apologize to you. I did not know that this was going to happen. I lost it for a minute. You were bigger than me. You ran down on me. You're bigger than me. I don't fight. I'm not a good fighter. I have issues. I'm sorry. And she was crying. She apologized, but she showed reflection. You got to think about
and accountability.
And accountability. See?
But this is what happens when you let the client take the stand and you prep them. And
Bingo.
This is what I was saying. I don't care what was in his phone because based off of, I was looking at the way that they set up what they weren't bringing into court. And so I said, all right, so there's something in both of their school records. There's something in an arrest record, which we find out later on when we kept reading. There's something in Karmelo's phone.
But I said that, remember?
You did. You did. You absolutely did. And I feel like based on everything that they laid out that they were trying to keep out of court when it came down to the Metcalfs, whatever was in your phone, whatever was in your school record, we could have easily found a way. A good attorney is going to find a way.
I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
I'm going to minimize it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put them up there and I'm going to put it out there first. I'm going to tell it my way first. It's one-on-one. Tell it your way first. Get out there, put that information out there first. Tell it your way first before they tell it. Mm-hmm. Control the narrative.
Right.
Tell it your way first. And then flip then when it comes to the Metcalf boys, hey, then attack what they said, attack what's in their phones. Because I bet that there was some racial stuff in their phones. Let's look at the daddy.
There was racial graffiti. Exactly.
Bingo.
And the father, the way that he speaks.
Yeah, come on,
the
man.
apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
We already know. So once again, that would have helped them. And so you should have just let it play out. Man, you let it play out. The reason why you let it play out is because it gives Karmelo the opportunity to go up there and be humanized. Because even if everything goes bad, he gets up at the end and he cries. He apologizes for what has happened. He hates what has happened. Now they view him as a human being. Mm-hmm. What you do is you take the bad stuff, you front load your bad stuff. You get it out of the way. And then you go to the you front load your bad stuff and you take your good stuff at the end. Mm-hmm. So that they remember that the most.
Impression. Yeah.
Bingo. That's what you do. I mean, everybody knows that's what you do. And that's what should have happened, y'all. And you prep your witness. And that's what you do. You don't let your witness be afraid. Man, I'd have had Karmelo. I'd have had him ready.
Yeah.
We would have been scared of Worski. I'd have drilled him.
If they would have brought that cheerleader email in and had them come in and testify and speak to the behaviors, speak to what they've witnessed on the field and off the field, and come on. Look. He blew this. Listen, I'm hoping that Russell Wilson, I really hope that with everything, because this is outrageous. Well, I'm hoping that they give him a new trial and they do recuse Judge Roach, because he can't preside over this case again after everything that I've read. That's just my opinion. That's Henny saying that.
But I'm going to tell y'all this too. I'm gonna tell y'all this too. A lot of this is more on that gentleman's agreement too. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I'm focusing on that gentleman's agreement because it really cut out about 40 to 50% of what could have been used. I'd say really cut out about half of what could have been discussed. And you don't do that. And the reason I say cut out half is because even when it comes to Russell, it is cut out what he can actually use to even appeal because you took that big glob of stuff that could where mistakes could have been made and you took it out. The reason why I wouldn't have took that glob out is because I know that's a big part of the trial where if the judge makes a bad ruling, if some evidence gets in that's not supposed to get in, if somebody makes a mistake in that big glob, that's something I can appeal on, and maybe we have to go do this again, and now I know what they're going to do.
Right.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a 10-round fight. You ain't got to win in the first round. And see, people have to understand that. And see, reason why I'm upset is because if you don't make the gentleman's agreement, now there's more objections. Now there's more to be able to appeal on. Now there's a bigger record. Now there's more instead of 5 days of testimony. Now there's 8 days of testimony. Now there's 3 more days of stuff you can appeal on. But the people looked at Russell's appeal and was, well, man, he didn't mention a lot in his appeal. Well, he didn't get to mention a lot, hell, because 50% of the stuff that he probably could have been used didn't even get talked about.
Right.
But I think he did a great job of using what he saw. And I'm going to tell you, Russell's extremely thorough. When I have had a problem, when I have had a judgment that did not go like I wanted it to go, that's who I call. As a matter of fact, I actually suggest those people, some people that know Karmelo contacted me, and I told them that Russell was where they should go. So and so his folks, anybody, his name kept coming. I said, "Man, go get Russell," because that's where I send my stuff, because that's what he's good at. And believe me, you may look at something that he's appealing on and say, "Oh, that doesn't look that strong." Believe me, if Russell is appealing on it, then he's done the research to say, "Hey, I'm going to make a great argument there, and that might be the best thing we got based on what's here."
Right.
But y'all, I hate I have to go. It's getting late. I just want to drop in and, of course, throw my assist like Jason Kidd. So, but I got to go eat and I got to get to bed. All right. Hey, I love y'all. Keep doing a great job. Great breakdown, Mel. I appreciate this video, man. I'm watching it. Man, you're right, man. When you look at it, you see the swing. You see, you kind of see where, Karmelo gets up and you see the launching of Austin and you see Hunter and yeah, you can see it. So it's pretty clear, man. So I'm glad that you did this. The defense should have done that with all the money that they had to be able to do it. That should have happened.
Exactly.
All right, y'all.
We'll see you Sunday.
Have a good night, Calvin.
Take care.
All right. So we have a few people in that are struggling. I guess they want to at least see the video. So
I guess they're gonna have to watch the video because they're having a hard time tonight. So
yeah, so let me really quickly go through this. That's shout out to Calvin for doing that. That's so amazing. So all right, guys, so we're gonna go through the video briefly again. And you can chime in whenever you feel like it, Henny. So at first you have this is Austin, okay? Where is Jen at? I saw Jess, Jen. I need you guys to front stage where you're at. And a few others. Who else is having some issues here tonight? Okay. All right. So you see Austin here, and he goes over and he pushes Karmelo. Okay. See that? Okay. You can see Austin bounce back. I guess apparently once he's struck, He bounces back. He's leaning back, almost as though, he took that hit in the chest. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now I want you to focus. This area here is where Karmelo and Hunter was, according to the courtroom testimony, also I showed you guys, Hunter sitting right in front of Karmelo. So first we're going to see how Karmelo runs up. And you see his head here at the top of the tent.
Right.
He ran away. Now you see Hunter there by himself. Do you guys see it?
Yep. Clear as day.
Okay,
Well,
he's
not
right
clear
there.
as day, but we can make it out.
Now notice how Hunter swings.
Mm-hmm.
How he swings at Karmelo. You see that?
Yep.
You see that? You see that punch there? And we also observe that he's on his knees. You can see his knees are bent here.
Yep.
And you can see his shoes. And as I move it over, you'll see it a little bit clearer. Actually, I need to come back a little bit. Okay, so you can see right here, he's on his knees. Let me get the shoe frame. Okay, you can see his two shoes right here. These are his feet. He's on his knees. Okay. Now you're gonna see him get up off of his knees. He's on his knees on the bench that he was previously sitting on. In the court, in the video, he said he was sitting around, and then he turned his head and he saw his brother grab the backpack. Well, we know that that's a lie now. We know that that's a lie because he wasn't even turned around sitting in his seat like he said in the video. He's on his knees. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. He gets up and he runs out of the back of the tent behind Karmelo. Look at there. So you see that? So now I'm going to go back to where he swung at him with the punch. Okay, right here. He swings at him. Boom. Right. So that's more than one person. For those of you who are coming in and having a hard time understanding what we're talking about tonight. All right.
Take it. You should take it back for them to see.
Okay.
Again, from where right before Austin involved, and that last swing.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe you me. I'm gonna milk it right all the way out. So, but I got to go real slow because we now we have the people coming in who are having a hard time processing this. So you see the swing here, right? That's not Austin. That is Hunter. Okay, you see that? Okay, now as I go forward, you can see his knees are on the bleacher. He gets up and he runs out. You see that? But now we go back to the swing again. We go back to the swing. Okay, and when I reverse it from the swing, look at what happens prior to the swing. He's on his knees and he's leaning down on top of Karmelo at the same time where basically you see Austin being stabbed. But even if you go back to when Austin starts off at the pole, now we're going to go all the way back. You see Austin at the pole. Notice that this body of Hunter, where is it? He's on his knees, but he's facing Karmelo even before Austin runs over there. So it's almost like Austin's going to break them up. Look at Austin.
Right.
Look at Austin. Look at that. You see that? Is he joining the fight or is he breaking it up? At any rate, you can clearly see that right here. There's Austin on the left. You can see Hunter body on the right, and also in the background when you see
Carmelo's
head goes down that way when he gets that football move. So this is not what I sat through court. This is not what they described. Everybody described that Hunter just remained politely seated on the bench and all this was happening around him. Well, now the video shows us something different, right?
It does.
Look at this right here. You don't see. Does this look like? Forget about Austin. Look at what this Hunter move right here. Does that look like a power punch, or is that a soft?
That's a powerful punch. That is not a gentle. Hey, get out of here. Those guys don't even give that they would just gently tap like, hey, could you please exit the tent? Can you please leave? That's not what they give.
Yeah. So let's get it clear for people like Jeff who are having a hard time, because I get it. Okay. So Jeff, this is not about guilty, not guilty. This is about this information was not put on in court, and it should have been in order for him to get a full, complete trial that factors in that he had two people putting the beats down. You follow?
Uh-huh.
It's not just one. So if you trying to help a guy have a fair trial, all of this information should have been there. I started off by explaining the first witness in the case as I sat there and listened to the video expert myself. This is not something that I obtained from someone else. But the defense asked the video expert, why didn't you highlight what happened under the tent?
Uh-huh.
And the video expert says the prosecution didn't ask me to. So our discussion is not about a knife. It's not about all of these things we've discussed so many times before. Today, I'm breaking down, I'm showing you in the video very clearly that at least two individuals were attacking Karmelo. Now, maybe they had a legit reason in their mind because he said, "Oh, you guys suck at football," or "your mama joke." I have nothing to do with that. All I'm
Wait a
saying
minute.
is,
Either the thing is, not to cut you off, I apologize, but they said that there was that type of banter going back and forth.
yeah,
And when that banter was used by one of the cheerleaders talking badly, there was a lashing out. And their own mother said that they weren't going to take anybody disrespecting them. So that was like a level of disrespect that was said. So you even have a sequence of events that have happened outside of this tent that back up and verify the actions going on inside of this tent with the conversations and what we're watching right here before us. So the conversations being had with Karmelo behind him, and he's talking junk about their team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
Hunter is turned around on his knees, and this is what we see.
So let me straighten out Infamous because I keep seeing Infamous say the same thing all night. Infamous. I had this information for a long time. Henny knew it. Calvin knew it. A few people knew it, right? But I don't put out information until I got the actual professional video enhancement back. All right. So let's get it clear. I have the right to change my position, reserve information. I could do all of that. Okay. So
And
you
that's
made your point and I made mine, but I had this information back when I was actually going to court. Okay. But
exactly.
I don't go online telling people, oh, this person got jumped when I don't have the absolute information and the clarification to figure it out properly. So I hope that helped you to understand my position. All
But
right, I'm
that's
sorry. I'm sorry about
journalism
that.
now.
I just kept seeing it so many times. I wanted to address it. Go ahead.
But that's journalism. And you know what? As people who do journalism, who do investigative journalism,
Right.
your opinion and your views are subject to change based on the evidence presented before you. That's it. That's all. You're not going to speak. And yes, you did tell me there's a lot of conversation we had. There's a lot of stuff we spoke about that neither one of us brought to the screen because
Right.
there was we couldn't bring certain stuff to light until it was brought to light, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what responsible journalists do.
Right. All right. So let's see. Is there anybody else that I need to address? But anyway, you can go back. I just wanted to deal with that. So you can keep. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're good. That's all I was saying, but yeah, Infamous and this Gen X boomer person is another one. And they're yours. I don't know those names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know either. So.
But no, it's just watching this video. It puts everything into perspective for me.
And again, like I said earlier, especially for a person like Jen, when he says he put his hands on me, he could have been talking about Hunter instead of Austin.
Right. I don't even think he knows who or what was going on at that particular point in time. You've got Two people coming at you. I don't
Right.
think he even knows who hit him. As far as, which twin. But either way, well, no, I can't even say that because it's very clear that him and Hunter were into it. I believe he was talking about Hunter. That's just my opinion based off of the evidence that's before us. I believe he was talking about Hunter because Hunter, in his own words, said, "My brother was just having my back like he always did." That statement right there told me all I needed to know. I just couldn't back it up.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Phil James. I appreciate it. See, here's the thing. Let me explain why it's now, because when I went to court, right, and I was in court, I came back. I said I never heard they, him, whatever, right? I only heard him, he, whatever. Now, think about it this way. Carmelo, more than likely, he had two guys, as I've shown you, on his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
The argument started. Let's use common sense. The argument started between Hunter and Carmelo first. So
I
it's more
agree.
than likely, he told Hunter, "Don't put your hands on me," right? More than likely, when he stabbed, he probably didn't know which one of them he stabbed, right? But he
Mm-hmm.
probably was aiming more for Hunter because we could see in the video that it seems to be Hunter more into the mix than Austin. It seemed like Austin. I could argue, although I wasn't there, that Austin went to separate the two of them and got stuck, right? That could be viable. So when he's saying, "I told him," let's say if he was talking about Hunter, he's saying, "I told him not to put his hands on me." He
Right.
stabbed, right? Okay. If Austin was coming to break him up, then that would explain why,
He said
it
him.
would it wouldn't have been a they. It would have been,
No, but
and
him.
then he find out, okay, that it's Austin that took the hit. Okay, so we don't really know, but what I'm saying is I show you in the video. Let me show for the people that are having a hard time tonight. One last time, I just want to show this right here. You see this right here? This is not politely sitting down.
No.
This is Hunter being involved, swinging at him. When I back it up, where follow Hunter right here. As I back it up to the move before the swing, look at his body movement. It's forward. You can see, you see that? You see that's his head right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you see that? So he's leaned in right on. Look at there. There you see. Look at there. Right here.
With his arm up, coming down.
Focus on the arm right there. That's what this person is doing. That you guys have the audacity to try to say he
That
was sitting there minding his business.
this is
What's
what that arm is doing. It's
okay?
coming down.
So look, and then he comes back up on his knees. Now watch this, and he swings with the left. Boom, misses. You see that? So now the argument, these guys, right? These people, they say, "Oh well, okay, well forget that. He shouldn't have stabbed him." They start losing their argument that they said all
Mm-hmm.
day that, "Oh no, it was just a soft push on the shoulder."
Right.
Now they're starting to pout and say, "Oh well, you shouldn't have a knife at school." That's not the point we're making, right? So you're pouting for no reason. We're just saying that I'm just showing that there's more to this than what we heard in court, okay? And I
Absolutely.
know I know you have a hard time accepting it, but you might as well get used to it because now a good attorney that's worth their weight in gold, it should be able to do this at a higher level and bring it to the court's attention. All right. So
Can I add one more thing?
yeah, go right ahead. I just
Said
wanted to straighten a few people out. Go ahead.
this video right here, this what we're watching, this explains why Jeff Metcalf said that the school messed up showing that video. They almost messed the whole thing up by showing that video. You see what I'm saying? You got to look at what's going on and then piece together. This is a puzzle, you guys. And you've got to put the pieces of the puzzle together with what makes sense. It would make sense why this isn't highlighted in court. It would make sense why he would say that they almost messed it up showing that video. Why would it mess anything up? This is why. Why would Hunter even want to attack Karmelo? And you know what? I'm assuming that when Karmelo was talking trash, he was talking trash to Eddie. Like two friends sitting there talking, and he started telling Eddie, y'all are trash. Y'all are this, y'all are that. And Hunter being in front of him, who we now know there is a history of him not taking too kindly to that type of verbiage, because the cheerleader email tells us that, which his mother verified to be true, and even said that Hunter was likely to disrespect a female. Let's put these puzzles together. Let's put it together, people. Hunter hears this. Hunter turns around. Hunter goes at it with Karmelo. The
Hold on,
fight
Jen.
breaks out.
I'm sorry, Jen is leaving. You want to extend
Jen,
that? What did you said? A binky and a warm
yes,
blanket.
I will be sure to send you a binky and a warm blanket, Jen,
All
and
right.
tuck you in tonight. How
All
about
right.
that? But now when you put all of this together, now you've got Hunter turning around, confronting Karmelo. A fight breaks out, an altercation breaks out between Karmelo and Hunter. And Austin steps in, either breaking it up or going after Karmelo too. And Hunter gets jabbed. I mean, Austin gets jabbed.
Very good. Very good. So, man, we've been rolling for quite some time tonight. I don't want to keep you too long, but
No, I
could
enjoyed
you,
this. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed watching you have your moment,
yeah, this
and
is a
I
big
enjoyed
moment.
putting this puzzle together.
I wanted more people to come in, and some of the people that have been just really going in. I wanted them to be here tonight and really come on and man up and woman up. And oh, there was only one little soft push, but those people, they're gone. I mean, they didn't show up or what have you. So that's a little troubling. I was here for it tonight. They were saying,
Maybe,
oh my God, there was no way that two people did that. And now that I showed it, it's like, oh, well, you can't take a knife to school event. Well, we know that, but what happened to the argument at hand? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
What happened? I mean,
Well,
I
maybe
did.
they'll be on the replay.
No, I want them now. Are you not
Are you having a
entertained?
tantrum?
Yeah, I want them now. I want them now. Roll up, you know? But yeah, but real talk though, guys. Listen, if I was able to do this, why wasn't the defense? Why didn't the defense? What's up, Rich? Shout out to you. Why didn't the defense do this? I mean,
Because of
listen,
the gentleman's deal.
imagine if you're on the jury, right? And you found out that these guys had graffiti that was not so proper, right? And then you see this right here, where you see right here. We're gonna run back one more time. So here we have Austin. You see Carmelo's head right here, but also Hunter is sitting in front of him. When Carmelo run away, you're gonna see Hunter here by himself. You can see Austin go over and push his head, and you see this is Carmelo's head right here. But you can still see the darkness of Hunter in
Hunter.
the mix too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so once Austin gets stabbed, you see him take the arch like a man that's been punched in the stomach, stabbed.
Uh-huh.
He's falling backwards, right? Okay, he's falling backwards. He's falling backwards. Now, let's focus on Carmelo. Carmelo gets hit or whatever. He does what he does. Now you see his head above the top of the tent.
Uh-huh.
He has the hoodie on. But now you see Hunter standing up, or he's on his knees, because you can see his 2 feet. You can see he has shorts on. You can see his knees. You can see the bend of his leg, right? You can see
Yep.
that.
You can see it.
So now let's just focus on Hunter, and you're gonna see him punch right here. Watch this, right there. You see Hunter punch right there. Boom. He
Uh-huh.
see that? Okay, so he's swinging. He's also not on the video. He says he's sitting there, and he hears Carmelo yapping off. I'm speaking loosely. He says he see his brother go and grab a backpack. How did you do all of that if you were on your knees and you were bearing down on Carmelo yourself? So that was cap.
Exactly.
In the modern vernacular of the young kids, that's cap. Anyway, so you see him on his knees. He's going to get up and start running out behind Carmelo. Look at this right here. You see this? See that? He gets up. You can see that that's his mid area. His left leg is going up, and he attempts to run out, but then you could actually see his foot right there on the bleacher. Okay, so he attempts to run out behind Carmelo, and then according to the courtroom testimony, he heard his brother say, "I've been stabbed," and he started to run back. Okay, now let's focus on Hunter, and we're gonna go back to that swing. See the swing right here? Okay, we're gonna get the swing. That's the swing right there. You guys get it? Swing. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now we're gonna back it up. Now look at his body. Look where his body was before he swung. See that? He was leaning in on you. Now you have Austin right here, and you have his brother. They're both surrounding Carmelo. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. But you see there?
Yep. I see it.
So look at his arm right there. You see that? This right here, this is Hunter.
Yeah,
This
that's what I said. That's
this is
that arm
Austin.
coming down right before Austin enters in.
See that? Look at this. Y'all see that? I mean, it don't
Yep.
take a rocket scientist to figure out. This is not a guy sitting there politely. These are two guys putting look at this. I mean, this is Austin. Focus on Austin. You see his body movement? Look at there. Now look at this here. Any guy know what's happening here. Look at that. You can see what's happening with this arm.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So how do you explain this when this is not courtroom testimony and all these kids came in and told a different narrative? I know this is a problem for many of you guys. 440 pounds. I know this is a problem for a lot of you guys because you wanted to be able to say, no, you didn't see that. I know you
Right.
didn't see two people. It wasn't two people. They didn't say that in court. I heard that all day. I was coming back from Egypt today, and here come Johnny come late. You didn't see two people hitting that boy. Why are you telling people that? How could you do that? You're killing your reputation by saying that. You're jeopardizing your channel because you're lying. And then I bring you the smoke and you guys don't want it. Where you at? Come out. Come out of the darkness and stand on what you was telling me today. I can't find one of them.
I think they're a little
Were you
stunned
watching?
and shell shocked right now, Mel. I think you done blew their muffin caps back.
Well, I tried to warn them. I've been telling you guys for weeks what I was going to bring to you. But I mean, I knew about it, but I was waiting for the right time. I didn't want to put it out and go to Egypt and then everybody's talking junk while I'm gone.
Right.
So I came back. First order of business after I landed was to put this out today. So here we go. Now, where's Johnny come late? Oh, no, you didn't dare say two guys hit him. They didn't say that in court. Where are these guys at? I want to see them right now. Pull up. Oh
Mel
my,
want all the smoke.
yeah, where are these guys at? I mean, it's silent, It's silent. Where are these people, And
Oh, you got one.
we got, who is that?
Burning the Talmud.
Oh, the Talmud is here.
Yeah. Said ends in there. None of this BS is relevant. What people will remember is that ends backed a murderer just because he's black and killed a white kid. Wow. You still, after all of this, see what I mean? The goalpost still gets moved. You can't save everybody, Mel.
Yeah, but that person doesn't have a picture up, doesn't have a real name, so that may not even be a real individual. That's probably a bot or something. If he doesn't have a picture up, I can't take it seriously. All right. So
I agree. I agree with that.
yeah. So anyway, it's not about black or white. I told you guys, right? When this whole thing happened in court, it was black guys pulling up saying, "Listen, I told Carmelo, get out of here. I don't push a black on white racist narrative about this case." So you guys that are coming in salty trying to throw that on me, you're throwing it on the wrong person, because I said at that day you had blacks and whites telling Carmelo to beat it. So that argument doesn't. The whole race narrative came in when the father went to the whole conference and got thrown out. And that's when this thing went all the way left on race, I think. I don't think prior to that, I think it was pretty even kill. So there you have it, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I thought it would be more of something. I mean, this guy coming in using the N word. I mean, you should see these people on Facebook. I had one guy's like, "Get out of here, black boy." I'm looking
Oh
at him.
yeah.
He's living in a trailer, barely, probably eating peanut butter every day.
They're horrible on Facebook because I get them on Facebook as well. They're horrible.
And has
And
the
then when you
nerve,
go to their profiles, you're like, really? Really?
barely surviving and want to be, those are the people that have issues. And I don't even entertain that, because that's where it gets to be out of control. It's not a black or white issue on my book. This is about, and I'm not even addressing. Listen, I've said it many times, and then I get the other section mad at me. You can't take certain things into prohibited areas. I just came through many airports, and once I got to Egypt, I flew to another part. That's 2 times I'm flying. You cannot, they search you. You can't have anything sharp. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you have to respect certain We're not talking about that. All I'm saying is this is some information that's on video that should have been introduced into court, so that when the jurors came down to make their decision, that instead of them thinking that Austin walked over and nicely pushed him on the shoulder, say, hey, buddy, pardon me, get out of here. Now they get to see in video that you have guys swinging, 2 guys on top of him like that. That's a different type of dynamic. All right. So
Yep.
hopefully you guys can, understand what I'm saying. Right. I hope that this comes shining through, because people they vibrate so low that they just want to make this about race, and they think I'm here for race. I mean, most of my moderators are not even black. So what are you talking about? I mean,
Listen, but that's what they do.
this is it's ridiculous. I have
That's
friends
what they
white,
do
black.
though, Mel. That's what they do. Because they can't hold a conversation above that level of ignorance. They can't go above it. And I'm not calling it ignorance because of what it is. I'm saying when you start talking about systemic injustice, when you start going into that, it has to be brought to a low level when you're trying to get people to understand this young man was railroaded. He was pushed out to the wolves by the very people that were being paid to defend him. It's not even like this was a public defender. This was a paid lawyer. This team of lawyers, Mike Howard, Toby Shook, and the other one, I can't remember her name, they were paid to defend him. And this is what their money paid for, a railroading. Now, we can go into other things, but right now, what we're talking about is this video, and we're asking, why didn't the defense do what you just did? And they could have, with the money that they have been given, with the money that was raised for his defense, they could have got someone to clean this up and make it so crystal clear. And if not crystal clear like you and me, clear enough for us to be able to see more than what we're seeing right now. But hey, There's that gentleman's deal that comes into play that stops them from being able to put on a good case, which I don't understand why they still did not do this, because the more I think about it, this had nothing to do with the character. This was showing what was under the tent. So if they were supposed to be running a clean trial about what happened under that tent, the defense should have came out swinging with a clear video.
Right. Burning the Talmud says, why would I put a photo on YouTube? Well, you would do that so that when you go around saying negative things and calling people's names, we can see who you are and maybe identify you. But it's easy to hide behind a B. All right. It's very easy to do that. So that's why. All right.
John Stevenson, I read both motions in their entirety. And if you have not at least listened to it or read it, then you wouldn't understand what I just said. It's going to go over your head, and it's okay. But did you understand the video, though? Did you catch what Mel just broke down in the video?
And that goes for you too, Justin. Did you pay attention? Did you just come in? Are you missing the point? Let's see.
Well, here's the thing. Modifying a video, making it inadmissible in court, that's not true. Because if that's the case, when their video expert cleaned up the video, them adding that highlight over Karmelo was modifying the video. Zooming in is modifying a video. See, don't talk to me about that, because I went to school for digital media. So I understand about modifications to videos. And anytime you alter a video, a photo from its original state, it's modified. So they shouldn't have been able to submit the blurred, zoomed in version as the prosecution into court if that would be considered modifying a video. Just saying.
Okay. Well,
did you enjoy that, Mel? Because I see you smile.
Yeah. I like the way you had to clean them up a little bit, get them church ready.
Exactly. Removing the timestamps off of the videos was modifying the video.
Good point. Good point. You're a good litigator,
Yeah, that's why my mom and everybody's like, you should have went to law school to be a lawyer.
Yeah, you do a great work. So, I mean, I think we've tonight we only had one purpose in mind. There is no perfect discussion about this case because everybody feels, we all feel differently about different things. Some people say, well, it's okay to carry a knife or a multi-purpose tool for whatever reason. Some people say, no, that's wrong. We could go on forever. Tonight was strictly about what we showed you in the video, that more than one person were putting the hands on Karmelo. Okay? That's a serious matter. Okay? That's a serious matter. It should have been expressed to the jurors so that they could have made an informed decision in its totality. That's all we're saying. Now, all of you guys that are coming in and you're all upset because you're adding in your own ideas and ideology about this and that. I can't help you because number one, you came in late. Number two, you're not even on the same page, so that's what it is. It is what it is. All right. And infamous, I can't, obviously, some of these people are having a hard time processing information.
I see.
They have a hard time processing just common sense type of deals. So I'm not going to address that. I can't explain to you twice the same thing in one night. So it's just like when I explained that Karmelo came into the tent after the Twins. Some people they just cannot grasp that. So I can't keep going on about it. All right. So, but I can tell you this: if you're hung up on other individuals and channels, I can help you totally focus on those channels. So That's all I could tell you.
I like the way you put that.
So that's all I can tell you. All right, let's see anything else. Anything else you want to break down?
No, I think everything has been broken down as best it's going to be broken down today. I'm
Right.
actually going to get ready to get up out of here too.
Right. Now, Justice says, infamous, I agree. We're collectively trying to learn and understand this puzzle. It's good to be humble. Now, can you believe the same person has been in the chat just chatting off away negatively has now found Jesus? Look, it's good to be humble. Nobody's perfect, but most of us have good intentions. This is the most bizarre thing that I've seen all night. This is unbelievable. After you behave like that, now you found the Lord. I'm not buying it. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Tonight we're focusing on one point. And I think we've made that point quite well. Okay. Quite
Yeah.
well. All right.
You did a great job, Mel.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate you for coming on tonight. It's nice to have Calvin pop in too.
Yes, it was wonderful to have Calvin pop in.
Yeah.
And explain some things. That was great. This was a great one, Mel.
Right. Thank you, Grumpy. Thank you. Infamous, you're not calling out anything. Henny told you, even before all of that craziness happened with some of the loonies, we were under the impression that and again, as we explained tonight, I don't know, were you not here for the whole night? Until we have clarification as to what Austin was doing, you really can't go around using the word jumping, because it's not clear, because it appears that Hunter and Karmelo, that's where the aggression started. That's what it appears, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if Austin went over to break it up, can you call that jumping?
No.
So that's all we're trying to say to you, but I'm not sure, Infamous, why you're having a hard time processing it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Henning, I'm going to let you close out tonight. But I tell you what, I can't sit through a show and continuously answer the same question all night from somebody that wants to. I don't understand.
They purposely want to misunderstand at this point.
Yeah, I just don't get it. So why even be here? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's bothering you so much about something that's a little bit of nothing, it just doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, what's up, M. Wallen? Shout out to you. And again, guys, don't make this about black and white over here. All of you guys is talking this racism talk. I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear about racism. We have some amazing people on this channel that are part of the team that we don't even talk about color. It's just weird to me that when people start losing their arguments, they start acting like I don't want to say that. So anyway, I'm gonna just let you end out the show. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who took the time to be here from the beginning to now, or whatever points you came in. Hopefully you learned something. Thank you, Mel, for having me up and sharing your platform. It was wonderful to be a part of this, and everybody have a great evening and rest well. Till next time, America.
Thank you.
Different voices, but the same song. Living a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the thing remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world sharing love and light. Peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. painting the night. United we stand.